Good evening, good evening.
Oh, you stop
Good
talking.
evening, good evening. I missed the cue. All right. Good evening, good evening. This is Lady Estelle in the Street Soldier Crew, and we are back for another Sunday evening with you. Your host this evening is delighted to see that we are still here. We are still alive and free. Who is your host? Dr. Joseph E. Marshall Jr.
Good evening, street soldiers. Good evening from wherever you are, alive and free around the world. We know that, we know that, we know that because we hear from you from around the world. Got a great show for you again tonight. Happy Cinco de Mayo Day coming up in a couple of days, everybody. On to touch on that and some cultural stuff tonight. And we thank you for joining us once again. You know what we do here. We play a little music and save a lot of lives. And Soul's not here because I can't tell basketball. Mike, he don't really care since the Warriors are playing.
Right.
So so I'll wait till he comes. But I will say this. Lady E, Don Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
I told Ann I was waiting for Malcolm. I saw the Michael Jackson movie today.
Mm.
Okay. Lady E, it is really, really good. You haven't seen it. Mike said he was waiting for the crowds to die.
I seen it.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's really good. Don't you like it?
Pretty good movie.
It's man, look.
Pretty good movie.
Musically, it is insane. I mean,
Awesome.
it is insane.
Only thing, if one critique, only one critique, and it's really not a critique.
Yes, sir.
I do agree with some people say, man, they kind of rushed it, but it was already 2 hours. It's like,
yeah.
like how long you gonna spend on the first part of the movie? So
Yeah, and
I thought it was very entertaining.
oh, please, beyond entertaining.
I seen it twice actually.
Oh, then you really liked it. And you know, lady, let me say this about critics. Number one, critics' job is to be critical. But I don't know why critics matter. Because if you like it, what the hell does it matter what the critics say? I don't know why they pay so much attention to critics. The critic said this. It's like wine. Not that I drink a lot of wine, but you know, they have wine critics, right? I don't care what the critics say. If I like it,
Knowledge.
that's all that matters. So our critics, I mean, I don't know, they have clout, they have influence, they have this. I don't know why, because it don't matter what the critics say. It depends on what you like. And to follow up on what you said, Mike, about the movie ends, I will say this, you know, before it basically says in the movie to be continued.
Basically.
Basically, it says
Yeah.
that
Basically,
you know, this is not the end of the story. So I thought that was nice for the critics. But can I just say this? This is probably not nice to say,
Uh-oh.
but Joe Jackson was that.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You think so?
oh, come on, man.
I mean, it's two sides to every story.
What two sides are getting your okay. Okay.
I got
What's the other side? I'm talking about him.
He raised a hell of a family.
No,
That's on his resume.
he beat up.
That's on his resume. Okay.
Hell of a well,
And
okay, no. And he wouldn't let him go, and he used it. It was all about him.
That's true.
He is horrible.
That's true. He had parts that wasn't that wasn't commendable, but he also had other parts that was very commendable. So it's a very troubled, you know, it's a very depending on how you look at it. Some people say it's great, some people say it's, you know.
I wouldn't want to be my daddy, and I wouldn't want to be a daddy like that.
How do you know if he wouldn't have done and implemented what he did do to get them to them levels? Who knows? You don't know. You really don't know.
So you saying
I'm saying that we don't know if
he
was there. We know that he was there.
You saying
and the Jackson 5 happened.
Hold on.
That's all I know.
You saying the means justifies the end.
I'm saying that Joe Jackson and Catherine Jackson raised a hell of a family. And the reason
that
Jackson 5 is there with Joe Jackson in the equation. I don't know the Jackson 5 being there without Joe Jackson.
But you saying the end justifies the means. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
Cool.
Okay. That would have been serious child abuse, period. And then he wouldn't stop. It'd be different if he let it go. Anyway, y'all see the movie and we'll talk about it at some point.
Got to see the movie.
Oh man, but the music, man, that boy, I learned a lot about Michael. He really did. You know, his brain, his creativity.
It's also very interesting to see younger generations.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm in the greatest generation of all time. Sorry, baby boomers. But the millennials, we're 80s. Well, we got to see a lot, and we got to see the old and kind of the new introduction into the new. So we're at a great just time period of just technology exploding. You had entertainers that we didn't see. I didn't see James Brown, but we got to see Michael. And it's just interesting to see the younger generation, like a little bit younger than me, like 34, 33, 32. They're like, man, I didn't know Mike was like that.
Ooh.
They didn't know. They don't even know.
Mike was all like that.
That's what I'm saying. They don't even know. They don't even realize how he would like. They thought they seen like somebody shut it down, but like, bro, you ain't seen nobody shut it down. You see Mike Jack shut it down, bro. Like for real. Like you ain't seen nobody shut down a whole country. We're not talking about a club.
How about a
shout out to Sweet Chips and Orchard?
How about a whole continent?
Countries and
countries. He was
crazy.
All right. So I'm sorry you're missing all this. Talking about your boy. It was a great movie. Go see it, people. We're gonna talk about it. And we'll get to it definitely during Black Music Month. All right. Let's get to some of the news and the terrible news, the terrible news, other than the violence that continues to happen. And this violence is like, but I'm keeping this for me because we got a violence prevention month coming up, right? So I'm keeping this so I can see. I'm gonna leave with all these stories and so why it's so important to do that topic like we always have done right here on Street Soldiers. But let's start with where is it? All right, the Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act and black political power in the South. All right. The Supreme Court on Wednesday struck down Louisiana's congressional map, ruling that the state's second forget it. I ain't gonna read all this. They gutted the Voting Rights Act. The 6-3 decision split along ideological lines, dealt one of the heaviest blows yet to the 1965 civil rights law. So I'm not gonna go through all the rest of the stuff. But basically, that is a huge setback to voting rights. And lady, I know you understand this just like as well as I do. I've been posting, it's like the civil rights movement was all for naught. All that blood, sweat, and tears, all that marching, all that people getting shot, it was like, and one of the things that was the crowning achievements of the civil rights movement was the Voting Rights Act. And they just cut it. So I posted a couple things when I said, oh, Jim Crow is coming back. What's next? The poll tax, right? Because it's like, I mean, look, are you talking about generation? That's mine. That's mine, right? And Lady E, this must be like, I don't know what to say. I keep telling people going backwards to the 60s. Not even the 1960s, the 1860s.
I was about to say, yeah, the 1860s.
1860s. 1860.
Yeah.
And they voted for this person, forget it, right, who appointed these justices. First they came after women's rights, now they're coming after, civil rights. So I guess that's what they want. What I want. But in the words of one and only Chuck D, we're going to refuse to lose. That's all I got on that one, brother. Unless you got something for me. So,
I mean, they said from the beginning, he said he was trying to make it great again. and from the beginning, we was like, okay, well, when was that?
Yes.
Because we don't know what you're talking about. but they knew what he was talking about. Yeah, we all knew. So
Going back to the time when we didn't count at all, right? Lady, you got anything on that one?
No, I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous to see. But at some point, everybody's going to feel the madness. Some who feel like they're exempt. And the time's going to come where they recognize that a mad person creates madness for everybody.
They should be feeling now because they're paying what $90,000 for a gallon of gas. But hey, some people when you in the cold, when they got you, they got you. When the pimp got you, he got you. It don't matter how bad it's going in your life. When he got you, they got you. So, but we're gonna fight back. We're gonna fight back. We're gonna fight back with everything we have. So go out and vote, everybody, in this next election and see what you can do. What we can do. Let's see. Oh, you missed. I can't do it again. Let me just say, I did see the Michael Jackson movie.
you
Fantastic.
did.
This today before I came to the show.
Hey, all
Yeah.
right. Now you really want to be starting something. I see. I see. All right. Mm-hmm.
Look, like you did. Look, my playlist is gonna be Michael for at least a week. I mean, look, man, that's a great
I
movie.
told you.
All right, okay, look, we already did it. The audience
Okay,
is like,
all right.
get off of Michael and move on. But thank you for urging that I see the movie, and ooh, what a musical tour de force that movie is. All right, it is Cinco de Mayo, right?
No.
Hey, I was out there today in Richmond, California. Stand up. San Jose and Richmond, we got the best Cinco de Mayos in the Bay Area, my humble opinion. And it was cracking on 23rd Street today, like it always is. Beautiful day in Richmond.
Let's tell folks what Cinco de Mayo is. Cinco de Mayo, the United States is gearing up for Cinco de Mayo, music all day, happy hours. Ooh, and deals on tacos are planned at venues across the country on Sunday, May the 5th, in a celebration with widely misunderstood origins that is barely recognized south of the border. Okay. In the US, the date is largely seen as a celebration of Mexican American culture, stretching back to the 1800s in California. Typical festivities include parades, street food, block parties, mariachi competitions, and ballet folklorico. Did I say
Mhm.
folklorico? Okay, you know, or folkloric dance with whirling dancers wearing shiny ribbons with braids and bright ruffled dresses.
Hey, I
Right.
almost got on the mechanical bull today. I was feeling good. I almost did it, but then I realized I ain't feeling that good.
You got some detail in this one, so all right. Cinco de Mayo marks the anniversary of the 1862 victory by Mexican troops over invading French forces at the Battle of Puebla.
That's right.
Over the better equipped and more numerous French troops was an enormous emotional boost for the Mexican soldiers led by General Ignacio Zaragoza. That's the best I can do with the rolling R's. Okay. Among the festivities in California, San Jose will host a parade and festival featuring live music, dances, and lowrider cars, while in San Francisco, there will be a festival at District 6. Thank you very much, sir, for all of that. There was okay, I soul note this. We don't have it in the plate. We don't have it. I'm pretty sure we don't have it in the playlist here, right here. But there was who made the song Cinco de Mayo? Who did that song?
I know.
Well, did you the only one that had me to death though?
3 letters. The group is called War, ladies and gentlemen.
You Cinco de Mayo.
The
Hey,
DJs know. The DJs know. All
oh,
right. What's up, girl? Yes.
it's a great song. I love that song. Oh man, I love that song. Classic song. War is a classic.
War is hard. War is very good.
Yes, they are.
War.
The world is a ghetto.
was
All day
very
music.
talented.
All day music. That's right. Low rider. Yes.
Yeah, low rider. Oh yeah, yeah. We should have some of that, but we ain't. Don't. So yeah, we're in the second hour. We're going to have a professor from Contra Costa College who's going to talk more about Cinco de Mayo and more about the culture, more about the history. Something I'm really looking forward to. But in this first hour, we want to celebrate, excuse me, Latin culture, of all of it. And we to help us do that, we have in the studio Vanessa.
Agana Espanol.
All right. I had the first, I had the Agana, and I had
We love her.
Thank you
DJ
so much.
Agana.
Yes, thank you for so much.
We got a legend in the house tonight. Bay Area, stand up.
You're gonna help us with some cultural stuff here. Yeah, and really thank you because you're a cultural person. So we want to just introduce yourself to everybody. What should I call you, Vanessa or Agana? I don't know which one you want. What you do?
Most people call me DJ Agana.
DJ Agana.
Yeah.
That's my Nessa right there. Love that girl.
Oh yeah, we go way back.
DJ Agana. All right. We got a few DJs here. One here, one here. Yeah.
Honored and blessed to be here. Happy to be alive and free.
Yes, you know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm known to the world as DJ Agana. Been DJing for forever, but people really know me for my mural art. And yeah, graffiti, murals, contemporary street art. I'm a U.S. hip hop cultural ambassador. I work with Next Level, teaching hip hop pedagogy all over the world. I'm a part of 3 graffiti crews. The Ex Vandals were started in the 70s in New York, like late 60s, before I was even born.
You're going too fast.
Oh man.
Yeah, because every one of these I want to ask you about, but then like you just spinning it along like you at the turntable. You just spinning it on. I want to ask like this about that. So you're gonna have to start over.
She's amazing.
Rewind.
What a wonderful
Yeah.
life and career. Seriously.
Oh,
Right. Wow.
thankful to do what I love every day. It's a blessing. And yeah, I'm a part of the Dream crew. Dream was like one of the first graffiti artists from the Bay to put the graffiti on the map in the world, and also one of the first graffiti writers to incorporate like political messages into his pieces, like Free Mumia and Free All Political Prisoners. And so I'm honored to be a part of that movement. I'm a part of the younger movement of heads that have been in that crew, and then I also help run Few and Far Women. We're an all female graffiti crew, and we paint big murals all over the world with other women. And yeah, so I love telling stories and putting my stories.
Well, let's really blow Dr. Marshall's mind. Tell him about the Eat, Play, Learn.
Oh yeah, I work with Eat, Learn, Play with Kaboom and Steph and Aisha Curry. We rebuild playgrounds and school builds, and so we basically, a lot of my kids have gone to these schools too. So like we'll go to a school, the slides will be busted, like the whole big potholes in the concrete, and like really the play structures are unusable. And so we go in there, build new playing structures. I paint murals all over the school that have become part of the curriculum, and just make the school a better learning environment that feels safe and where people can see themselves reflected in the stories on the wall. And
Lady, you hear all this?
Absolutely.
Accomplished. ACCO. Anyway, capital letters. Underline. Bolded.
And humble.
Wow.
Humble and
When did
pure.
this all start? How did you get into this? I mean, is this, did you, when you're a little girl, you said, when I grow up, I want to be. How did
The spray can and the
how did you get in? Just the whole, all of this. I know it evolved, but how? When?
I mean, my dad's an architect, my mom's a visual artist, so of course I love to paint walls, and I love just storytelling. My sister's a musician. Like I just grew up around an artsy family, and so creating was natural. But I really started tagging in the streets, getting in trouble, and then
I could see how that's where it stops.
and then finding different programs like Precita Eyes, Visual Element, Eastside Art Science, and like learning how to connect political movements with my art and learn how to get walls and do community engagement and really just connect with my peoples and across all different cultural landscapes and intersections and tell the stories how we want them to be told because if not they're going to be told for us and just really
Ooh.
diving into like who we are as a people and how we want to be represented in the future and what stories are worth creating this legacy.
I mean, it's a long way from somebody who's tagging and getting busted for it
Yeah.
to become, and I'm going to use a conscious artist. You see, conscious is, to me, forget woke. I don't use that term, but consciousness
Mm.
is a whole. How did that develop? And by the way, from you say you the next generation? Yes, that's what I'm looking for. More conscious people. Oh, Ann wants me to give the phone.
Oh, hello.
877-955-1061. And I mean, if you this bad, you can call in too and tell us all about your stuff. But here's what we want to ask as we continue with DJ Agana. We want to celebrate Latin culture.
Yes.
And the questions we want to ask, what do you love? What does Latin or Latino mean to you? When do you feel most connected to your culture? What's something from your culture you can't live without? That's nice, huh?
Yeah.
What did your family teach you that still shapes you? What's different about how you're raised? Oh God, the soul put all kind of good stuff on here. What part of your culture you want to pass on? What do you wish people understood about your culture? And we're focusing on Latin because it's Cinco de Mayo. Now, I'm not gonna say about anybody calling. If you Asian, you want to call it fine, it's cool. You want to do that too? I mean, but what? But we're just wonderful melting pot in the bay. So 877-955-1061. And I like all of these questions. What do you want to start with? Well, you answer some of these. For you. You want to give it a shot?
Sure. I mean, from your last question, I think there's this dream quote, born in the hustle, enlightened by the struggle. And I think really learning about our struggles and our collective struggles and our ethnic studies and where we've come from and like learning more about who we are and who our legacy is outside of the textbooks
Yes.
has like
Because it ain't in the textbook.
yeah,
It
exactly.
ain't in the textbook.
Exactly.
No, it ain't textbook.
Okay,
No,
that part.
it ain't textbook. That's just true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's what's been a strong movement in my art creation. Because tagging and graffiti is very much like ego. This is me, my name. But creating community murals is very much like letting go of the ego and creating what people want to see themselves reflected into every day.
I did. We got a call, right? All right. Come on, jump on. You're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Tell us about you and your culture and all that's wonderful to share. Go right ahead. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air. You're with
You
Street
got
Soldiers Radio.
You gotta be ready when it's time. Yep. Nope. Gone. 877-955-1061. We know that Latin culture is just rich, is varied. And let me just say, part of the reason, another reason for doing this is like, you know, they got this thing about America has this thing about good immigrants and bad immigrants.
Wow.
And right now, up, stop, take the call. Yes, no, maybe you're on. Hi, you're on Street Soldiers. You there? Talk, please. Yeah.
Oh, next caller.
Yep.
Next caller.
No, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, you're on air with Street Soldiers Radio.
Yep. Y'all, if you look, you can't call and not talk because that's the reason for calling is to talk. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, just go ahead. They're breaking my flow. They're breaking your flow when they do this. Yeah, and it's like, now anybody from south of the border is the bad. That's the way it is right now. And he's only letting what Afrikaners in, white Afrikaners. I mean, this place has always been a mess with good and bad immigrants, but right now, but the culture is just the people just so rich. But you talk.
Yeah, it's like all of these walls and borders are like constructs that don't really exist. I mean, they do, but are they really real, these borders?
No,
You know?
no,
Like,
no.
people need to migrate and move freely no matter what. Like,
I did this thing at Richmond High once, and it was I guess it was Cultural Week. I remember going in, and they asked me to come, and everybody, and they had created this. They had dishes. I mean, they had Italians had pasta. Back then, and I remember getting up there in front of all these kids, and I said, "What a wonderful celebration!" And I said, "How can you love the people that love the food, and not like the people that created the food?"
mm,
And it was like, oh wow, that's deep. I
wow.
never thought about that, right?
Yeah.
They loved every dish that was served, but somehow they didn't like the hands, the people that created the food.
Oof.
And but America's like that. They're dividing, like people. I don't like that kind of people at all. But all right, back to
Mm.
you. Your roots.
I mean, my roots are in Venezuela, but also Chicana, La Raza from Califaslan, Bay Area, Chicanismo. And so it's like my roots are in Venezuela, but I grew up here. So we Chicano, but Chicano used to be like not a good thing, like a cholo. And so we've reclaimed that word and empowering, like being from different parts of the Americas, but also uniting them and being like La Raza, like one race. We are like all connected. Our struggles are more connected than they are separated.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
recognize
Oh yeah.
that.
Tell me about Venezuela. Tell
Mm.
me a little bit about Venezuela.
I mean, it's hot right now with what's going on.
Oh, forget that part. I ain't talking about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that dude messed everything up. So I mean, you ain't talking about him.
But it's
I'm talking about
interesting.
the culture. Go ahead. Yeah,
It's interesting, like what happened with Cinco de Mayo and how the French came with like all this power,
yeah,
and yet lost to like a few folks with some pitchforks and like very like not a
yes.
big military, and so it's like I don't know, this whole imperialism of like coming over and taking resources and trying to take over. It's like very interesting of what's happening in Venezuela. I mean, Venezuela needs help, but like I don't know if this is the solution. Like,
Yes, yeah, but they do that there. That's America. It's imperial. They've done that with into colonialism, right? But talk about the good, the
okay,
rich, the cultural, the food. What's great about it? What's great? What's great? What's great about Venezuela?
well, that's why I paint a lot of corn because I believe that corn is like where all of our roots come from, passing down traditions in our recipes and our food and what sustains us, what keeps us alive. Like that's what I love. I mean, we arepas, cachapas, empanadas. Like, oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking of that.
Think that's what's so beautiful, right? Of like the culture and like how you like show it is just there's so much symbolism behind everything and it really means something. And like I just really appreciate that you share that with us, right? Like you share, you teach and if we don't know, you're happy to explain, and just really, I guess, like knowing history and like how the dots are connected, what that means, what it looked like before, what it could look like. And yeah, the Bay Area is just so unique in that kind of way too, where um yeah, like all the cultures that come together. And so for me, I guess I think of like Carnival, where it's just like, you get to watch all the different flags and representation of like Latino culture, but that's just one event that happens, there's more. So, but you really just help us to learn, help me to learn.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
appreciate those kind words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean it. You're amazing.
What did your family teach you about the culture? Because it's not in the books. What'd you get from your family?
I learned that it doesn't really matter what you have resource wise. It's all about love and community and like giving everyone your all when you don't have nothing. Like
Yeah.
here, like the abundance is there and having that abundance mentality of love and culture and food and sharing and that it's all about spending time together. Like that's the most powerful resource that we have is our time and like man, yeah, like money is great, but it's not everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's a strong family value that I've learned.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I remember reading about villages in Africa, African culture, and one of the principles was the trouble of one is the trouble of all. No one may go on want while others are in need. Something like that. But I mean, it was like a principle. It was a principle, and you find native people are like that. People close to the soil, people close to that, and money is like, if I got a quarter, you can have. I mean and so I just thought about that when one of these questions, what do you want people to know about you? And I'm sure people don't. That man paints his pictures such a negative picture, right? And it says, what part of your culture do you want to pass on? What do you wish people understood about your culture? And I think what you said is really true. And I know whenever I try the phone, phone's working.
Working on it.
It's a tinkering. Okay. 877-955-1061. Whether you're from Jamaica, man, or whether you are from Honduras, or whether you're from Guatemala, wherever it is, wherever your folks is from, call and talk about that culture. We want to hear about it. What's beautiful about it? What do you love about it? What do you celebrate about it? I know anytime I've gone somewhere, I sat down with somebody, from different, I want to say culture. Uh, we bond immediately over two things: food and our families. Right then and there. I mean, literally. It's never been. It's like, two. Well, I don't care where I've been, and this has been like, I've been a bunch of places, whether it be, Japan or uh, South, South Africa. But we sit down and we just now government and politics. But when the people get together, there is nothing that separates, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So, yeah, yeah. Lady, you want to jump in here and talk about, because the phones ain't working, so we're trying to get it going until we can get some calls about Latin culture that people want to talk about.
Well, I am really interested in hearing from our guest. First of all, from where let me see if I can fix something here, because I see what you're wearing. Thank you, Ann. See, you knew exactly what I was trying to do. Okay, so she's absolutely beautiful, and what this is you're wearing. I just want to hear more about you, what you bring to
A really good
what
picture if
you
you want
bring
to
to the
see them.
community, to all of us, and your smile is so infectious. Um, but the questions about the legacy and what it is, not just about the food and the family, the things that come to you that you're going to share about the corn and the significance of that. But then there's something deeper that connects you to community and others and people. Something that's a little bit deeper that we may assume, but we don't really know, that you can share with us.
I love that. I was actually reminiscing when I pulled up because I painted this mural on Townsend Alley, like right here.
Right here.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably a couple decades ago. And I painted with this artist crayon and I just painted something for fun. It was just this Chicana woman and she was like ready for combat. She had a pistol, she had a paint roller, she was like ready for a creative revolution. And I just
Mm.
painted for fun, thinking it's gone the next day. I got a flick. Woo. And then this girl named Maria Mendoza emailed me. This was like before social media. And she said that she went down this alley with the intention of unaliving herself. She took the bus to San Francisco, found this alley, and that was her intention. She
Yeah.
said that she saw this mural that I painted of this like young, brown, beautiful Chicana, powerful woman, and then it made her feel empowered and beautiful, and that it made her want to live.
Oh.
And you just never know how your
Oh.
art can affect people,
Yeah.
and like how people see themselves reflected in what you create. Something I made just for fun without even like intentionally trying to do something political, or save somebody's life, like created these ripple effects. And I was just in shock. I didn't even know that was even there still. So it's just amazing that your art can do something like that. And so now every time I paint, I think about her. Like she's like this, almost like this guardian angel over me. And I'm like, oh man, what can I create today that might have some impact in the future, to make somebody feel proud of who they are, and rise up and just stay alive and free and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Where
just
does that come from? Where does that part in you come from? I know you said that you were getting in trouble drawing on the in places on areas that you weren't supposed to be painting over. Okay. And then what happened? Getting in trouble, showing your art before it got to be you showing your art.
I mean, graffiti is very much like reclaiming public space because we're force fed all these advertisements of who we need to be, look like, what we need to purchase, like this consumer culture that we're force fed. So graffiti is very much like reclaiming the streets. Like, no, we have our own language, we have our own message. This is who we are. We have our own name, and not everybody needs to understand it. And so I think that rebel in me was like, yeah, graffiti art, like get out in the streets and tag, and then getting in trouble is like, that's when I was able to really find my voice in my art and understand that this is something way bigger than me. And wow, yeah, so like connecting with different mentors like Estria, Josue, Rojas, and now my mentor Vogue, um, really taught me about how I can use my art as a weapon and as a tool for something way greater than I can even imagine. And like I got to paint a mural for Malcolm recently. That was so beautiful. And just sometimes you think you're going out to paint a mural too, but you're really like going out to conversate with the community and like
Yeah.
talk all these deep discussions with folks that have never met an artist or are like, why are you painting this? And want to know the cultural significance around it. And yeah, I had the best time painting that mural for Malcolm recently. So
Not only do you just paint the murals, you're up on the cranes, getting up high, right? Doing it. And, there's a whole thing to it. But also, Miss Estelle, she painted her daughter.
oh,
Her daughter. And every time we pass it, I show Evelyn. I'm like, right there, Allie. Or Lake
yeah.
Merritt, like, it is just the beautifulest, so it's like you bring yourself, you bring your family, you bring your community to this work that you share, not just here in the Bay Area, because I follow you on Instagram and you can too, but I follow your travels all over the world and see your impact. It's beautiful.
What
Yeah.
what did she do for you, Mel? What mural did she do for you?
Oh, we're talking about. She's talking about the mural, the one that she just finished. What, about a month ago? A little over a month ago, out in Bay Point. Um, that we have been working on. It was in the works for a long time, but I drive by it every couple weeks, and oh, I love that mural. It came out so good, Agana. It looks so good every time, and and the process was long, but that don't even matter no more. I mean, once I go by there and I get that feeling, and I remember all that we went through to get it there. But and just to see the reaction of folks in the community, Bay Point, California is unincorporated area. Um, and to see how people reacted, it just, that it wasn't just something new, even though it did bring a layer of newness. But Vanessa's work, Mr. Stell, you got to really see her work to understand it. I mean, it's not just, she has a spiritual quality to her work. Let me say that.
Yes.
Well, when she said about using her voice,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking, even though, yeah, Vanessa, when you said you got to use your voice, to me, that was the answer. An
Mm.
opportunity to use your voice. And the information, where that comes from. how to get in touch with what it is you're feeling, what it is you want to say, and then to communicate that without words is really powerful.
Yeah, the way she uses colors, they're extremely
Yeah.
vibrant. Um, and there's just a quality that comes through her. It's almost like a dreamlike quality.
Okay.
It bridges reality and the dream world, and that's what's cool about art, because it can take you out
Right.
of, you know,
Right.
your normal reality and help let you dream a little bit more. And she's just a master of her craft. She's been doing it for a long time. Um, and I wanted to ask you, Agana, since we're talking about murals and graffiti and all that, I wonder how you've seen things change in the Bay Area. I love driving around Oakland now because there's murals everywhere. Sometimes we just drive around just to look at it. It wasn't always that way. Um, I can remember, 20 years, 15, 20 years ago, it was different. How have you seen things change in the Bay Area? Because you've done murals all over. Is our folks in our cities more, you know, receptive, more open? I'm just curious what you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's whole mural tours now. There's
Mhm.
curriculum in schools that involve
Mhm.
mural. I love that. It's I mean, there's too many blank walls in the world, period. Like, let's throw color and add
Becoming a
life
true
to them.
artist.
Like, we don't need this like gray landscape of nah. Like, I mean, I've definitely seen neighborhoods and cities change all over the world. Like Wynwood is now like a Disneyland of graffiti mural art, which is crazy. And
Wow.
so I love that it's coming becoming more culturally acceptable,
Mhm.
like public art, and we need more of that.
Yeah.
I know there is like a connection with gentrification, which is touchy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think if we're telling our stories and putting them on the wall, that's what we need more of.
Mhm.
And we need like people to see themselves reflected in our landscape and reclaim our public space as our own
Yeah.
and our own way to story tell what we want to tell.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask you this too, to kind of follow up on what Lady Estelle was asking you. Was there a moment where you kind of realized your own power with painting, with art? Is there one that comes to mind where you might have maybe you completed something, you step back and you were like, dang, this is pretty good, or something like that, just where you saw your own power in your art.
I remember my first graffiti battle, and
Ooh.
I thought that I was like, did something super fly with a gradient, and it was all pretty and beautiful. And I was like, oh, I won for sure. And then Esther, the mentor, was like, oh, nah, this guy won because he had a concept and his was deep
Ooh.
and culturally relevant. And I was like, oh, so it's not about painting something pretty.
Oh.
It's about like, what are you saying with your art? And that
Mm.
was like a
Mm.
moment for me where I was like, "Oh, who cares that my gradient was so pretty? Like, it doesn't matter." But what are you
not
trying to
not
say?
that your
Message.
gradient ain't pretty now.
Ah.
Okay.
About the message.
Yes.
It's about the message. What are you saying? That's
Yeah.
what it's about. It's about the message. It sounds like you've got a message,
Hmm.
and people are.
Y'all got a message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I was painting
Some messages are better than others.
that part. I was painting a mural in the Mission, and the reference I was using looked a lot like Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez, who was murdered by ICE police in
Oh.
Texas, but it was on camera in somebody's backyard, and she got shot in the head. She was 20 years old, coming here to study engineering from Guatemala. And the
Mm.
girl I was painting looked just like her, which
Mm.
was weird. And everyone
Mm.
was like, "Oh, is this a mural for her?" And I was like,
Mm.
who I don't even know who this person is. I don't know what happened.
Mhm.
But then when I learned about it, I dedicated the mural to her, and the
Mhm.
mom folks reached out and asked me to dedicate the mural to her. And it was like I was painting someone I didn't even know what was going on. And then while I was painting,
Mhm.
this girl comes up to me and she's like, "What's up? It's me, Elvira." And I was like, "Oh, what's up, Elvira?" And she was like, "No, it's me, Elvira." And basically, I had painted this graffiti piece in the Mission
Mhm.
long time ago, and I put "Free Elvira," and she was locked up. She was like a queer youth activist that was locked up at the time. She was Cuban.
Wow.
And I put free Elvira, and she was like, "Nah, it's me, Elvira. I'm free." And I was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, she just said, "Thank you so much for throwing my name up. Like, you have no idea how much hope that gave me when I was locked up for helping folks."
Yeah.
And so it's just like all these little stories and seeds you plant, and you just don't know how they're gonna come back full circle and change your life and other folks, and
Mm.
just man, it was just all these moments like really make you think about what you're creating and why and what is the purpose and why are we here and
Yeah.
man all the time like
We're all connected.
So we are
Yeah.
in the presence of a cultural spirit.
Okay. Yes. That is
Cultural
exactly.
ambassador. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm
yeah.
hearing.
Mm.
I'm just listening. That's what it sounds like to me.
Wow.
I mean, you can't, you can't plan this stuff. The spirit.
Mm.
I mean, first of all, the whole story about the mural right here, outside here, and the girl seeing it and saying, "I want to live."
Yeah.
Okay, that was I thought I was gonna get up and run around the room for that, but
Mm.
then it freed this.
Mm.
You're a cultural ambassador. You're a cultural spirit.
Wow. I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Well said.
Well, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You know, because the spirit moves on its own.
Mhm.
You can't direct the spirit,
Mhm.
but it comes from the inside. Uh, and it's yeah. That's the only
Mm.
word. That's my word.
I
Yeah.
love that.
You know, it's not a paid thing. It's not a this
Mm.
thing. It's you're touching folks,
Yeah.
Mm.
and you know, I mean, I remember at the beginning you were talking about going here, going there. You realize you do that everywhere you go.
Mm.
Hey, Vanessa got stamps on her passport.
True.
Well, yeah, I noticed a lot of artists will go and paint somewhere and they'll just kind of do their thing, right? But
Mm.
I when I go somewhere, I really research like the
Mm.
country, the neighborhood, the
Look at that.
city, the history, like how can I create something here that folks will see themselves in and not just be like, "Oh, I'm just an artist doing my thing," you know,
Mhm.
but like how can I really connect my art to everybody that lives in that block even and and connect with their stories of resilience and
What are some of the
Yeah.
countries that you've been to?
I've painted in Senegal, Switzerland, Spain, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Mexico. Yeah, those are some of the main ones. Yeah.
You got friends all
Is
over the
that cool?
place.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get out of here, you got a lot of places you
Yeah.
can go and chill.
And I think we did a world record. We did doing for
Mm.
our women, we did 555 feet with 55 women at Paint Louis
That's
recently, and we had women from all over the world too come and paint. So that was like really empowering because
mm.
our crew name is Few and Far because when we started 15 years ago, it was like, man, there's so few women that paint. We all come
Mm.
from far away to paint together. So
Yeah.
everyone was few and far, and then we
Mm.
Dabs Mila from Australia like wrote it on the wall, and then we're like, let's be a crew, and so yeah, we're 15 years deep now of painting with all women, and it's a really special thing to organize and be a part of that sisterhood.
Yes. Yes.
Man,
I love it. It's just so important, right? It's just
yeah,
You what Alive and Free and Street Soldiers is all about.
yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. You know, I mean,
Using your gifts, right? To
it's funny. I just saw the Michael
better
Jackson
the
movie,
world.
and all he talked about was peace and love. I mean, that
Ah.
you know, if you see him, that was that was what he wanted,
just let's
and
go.
he did it through music. Speaking of the music piece, get into the DJing part. When did that come up? You
Yeah,
you and Malcolm have a little DJ battle here. How did
actually,
you get
a
in?
turntable.
Get into that.
I mean, my sister, she's a musician, so I would go to all the rehearsals and like sample her and make little beats and like scratch. And I was always collecting vinyl
So
and
cool.
just rapping on the side, singing salsa and yeah, I'm a big part of carnaval too. I design a lot of the carnaval art, and I don't know how many years I've been doing it, but since I can remember, and yeah, I dance with Fogo na Ropa, and I'm just I have synesthesia, so I see like art,
You're a
music.
dancer too?
Yeah.
Oh.
I I just see everything is connected. You know, like
Yeah.
when you hear music, you see colors, and when you see art, you hear music. Like it's all inspires one another for me. So, and I think we're all born with some synesthesia. Like some of us just hold on to it more than
All of us don't tap into it.
exactly.
Or,
Yeah.
or we're programmed so that that creativity cannot come out.
Mm.
And that's what's so remarkable about everything you're doing. And it, it, it's a blessing that you are able to utilize, and not even, I would say talent is a word, but it's almost limitless. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's all tap in.
That's right.
Good for the world. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got a couple.
Hey, I wanted to ask what, uh, how can I say this? Committing and living the life of an artist is not always the easiest road to take. Um, while it can be fulfilling in a lot of ways, it's not, we've all done it to a certain extent. It's, some of us have held on, some of us have made turns because, life's, and being an artist, it's just not always that easy. I'm curious how you've been able to sustain yourself as an artist, what that journey's been like and how you've been able to do that.
Well, thank you, Malcolm, for asking that question. Super important. We are going to get that answer
Oh,
after our break. You can go ahead and follow us on YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free. And you can always take us and the podcast on the go when you visit stayaliveandfree.org. All right. And we'll be back. Okay, go ahead, Mike. I mean,
Hour number two.
okay.
Hour number two, alive and free. Street Soldiers Radio. Taking a deep breath. It was a wonderful first hour. DJ Agana, you were just. I just sitting here like, woo, man, this is a cultural spirit in our midst. That's just what that's my word. I just don't know what to say. I was like, this is a blessing. This is wonderful. Let's make everybody else like this, okay? Everybody be, you know. We're joined this hour. We're joined this hour by two guests. And I gotta get the names right, so let me find where I got them written. We're joined by Professor Lorena Gonzalez of Contra Costa College. I think that's correct. Say that right. And Erica Lazo Mancilla.
Mancia.
Mancia. Okay, well, look, it's my
Mhm.
getaway. Mancia. And we're
Anyway,
also
música de yes.
we're going to continue the discussion. But first, let's answer the question for you, DJ Agana, that Malcolm posed right before he went to break. Is basically starving artist.
Yeah. How do you make it out here?
And
I know it's rough. It
how's
can be
that been
rough.
for you? How do you handle it? Is that
Yeah, I have the abundance mentality. There's more than enough projects out there for everyone. I mean, some people ask me like, how did you get to this point? It's like I painted probably hundreds and hundreds of murals for free in order to like get paid for my craft. But
That's right.
also being a mom, like having limited time. I'm also a widowed single mom of two young kids for 3 years now, and it's just made me like really be better about time management and be more intentional with my time and just like being able to say no to something if it doesn't align with my values and just keeping that abundance mentality and being grateful to do what I love to do every day, and it doesn't even feel like work or a job. It just feels like I'm fulfilling my purpose and doing what I love, period. So just grateful to spread the cultural knowledge of self and live the dream.
Mm.
Thank you, Malcolm.
She's beautiful.
she's hella cool.
I just love
That's
her.
my word. You
Yeah.
hella cool. You beyond.
Yeah.
I don't even want but hell. You heavenly cool.
Heavenly. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That is wonderful. And I'm sorry, you may have to come back next week because next week is Mother's Day. So you may have to put you in the Zoom next week to talk
Oh.
about
Yeah.
what's great about being a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. We're gonna
So Dr. Marshall, I'm just going to share that just because if you're going to talk about that, me and Agana have this picture where we're both pregnant together. Like our big old bellies just side by side, just like beaming.
Can you bring that picture next week and we'll put it on the screen?
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's turn to our guest this hour, Professor Gonzalez. Thank you so much. Uh, did you
Wait,
have
I
a
think she dropped off. So
Yeah, we lost her for a
come back.
second.
wait for we just have Eric. Okay.
Hopefully she'll call right back.
Yeah. And will the professor come back? Okay. Erica, did you have a chance to listen to that first hour?
It was amazing.
Oh, awesome. I'm
I
so
am
happy you could hear it.
I am so
I can't hear her.
inspired. It's an honor to be here this evening with you guys to share this
You can't hear you.
platform.
We can't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear
No.
her? She says she is so honored. So that's awesome.
We can't
And,
hear her. So we got to figure out how to hear you.
Oh my goodness.
I can hear you. So let me give
And
Dr.
hear you, but
Marshall.
we don't have
Let me
you.
give Dr. Marshall my headphones,
But
and I'll
then-
get. I know, but you gotta work with it. Work with it, Mike. He can't. They can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yay!
Okay.
Yes,
What do you think of her? She's
I am just so proud to be a Latina in the Bay Area right now,
Hey.
especially in this time where we're feeling so ostracized and targeted. And it's just something that fills me with so much pride, you know. And first of all, I'd like to begin with giving you a little bit of my background. I was born in San Francisco, so I'm a Bay Area native. And my mom is from El Salvador, and so is my dad. I was born here, so it's really interesting, being raised in the mission, because yes, I'm here, but it's the United States. But inside my apartment, I felt like I was in El Salvador. My first language was Spanish. I didn't learn English until, I went to school. And so it's a beautiful thing to be in a cultural melting pot, and be surrounded by so much diversity, so much art. Like growing up, I would see colored murals in the mission. And that's beautiful to see your culture represented. I just think that's a beautiful thing.
gonna come back to you and ask some more specifics about that culture.
Absolutely.
Professor Gonzalez, thank you. We got you. We got you. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having connection issues.
Oh, we got you now. So we hope this
Yes.
is. You are. Well, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do, and then we'll get right into it.
Sure. My name is Lorena Gonzalez. I'm another Bay Area local, like Erika here. Same born and raised in San Francisco. Although I spent most of my time in the Mission. We actually lived in the Tenderloin on Polk and Eddy, so definitely a Bay Area native. Um, had some what one would call now a transnational lived experiences, where like my school academic year, I'm in San Francisco, I'm on the Muni, I'm walking home, I'm the latchkey kid getting the free reduced lunch. And then in the summers and Christmas vacations, I'm in Mexico with my abuelitas, and I'm washing my clothes in the river and I'm milking cows. And so just that definitely plays into what I do. And this is my 27th year as a community college educator, and I've focused all those years in community college intentionally and specifically. And so I'm an academic counselor, and then I like to say my side hustle is teaching in Rasa studies and ethnic studies. And yeah, it's just I love what I do. I love what I do, and it just extends beyond um, academic, right? Knowledge is power, and the truth that is relayed within ethnic studies and Rasa studies is so needed in these times of deceit, right? And the truth telling and knowing where we come from. And so just thank you. Thank you for having me here tonight.
What's important for us to know that we don't know? And that might be the whole lecture series that you do, but what immediately comes to your mind? What's important for us to know that we don't know about uh,
I
around?
Well, I think first and foremost, I mean, revolving around Cinco de Mayo, one is that it's not Mexican independence, I think is one of the biggest things to know. And also that it is beyond that, to know that it is, I don't think many know that it's really about resiliency and pride and protection of sovereignty, right? And the the willpower, like the échenle ganas, that is such a big part of the cultura of like put in your effort, right? And sigue adelante and go forward, right? And ser humildes pero no dejados, meaning be humble but don't also, allow yourself to be run over. And I think like that is I don't think people know that in terms of Cinco de Mayo and the commercialization of it, the exploitation of it, the cultural appropriation of of that sovereignty, right? That lucha is gets played out in society and gets lost. So I would say that.
In the courses that you teach, uh, is it a history course? Is it just talk a little bit about that?
And in terms of the history.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
in the courses that you teach, what is it? A history course? Is it a social? I'm just curious about what you
Oh,
actually.
there's different, right? There's courses on the history of Latinos in the US and also in Latin American history. There's courses focused on film, on the psychology of raza in the US. There's literature courses, theater courses that are focused on the Latino experience in the US. And so, yeah, the topics can vary beyond just history as a department and as programs across, the Bay Area and the different departments.
I know whenever Black History Month comes up and we start teaching, my favorite phrase after the kids go, "What? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that." My favorite phrase: "You don't know what you don't know." Right? And then they're like, "What else don't I know?" Then they say, "What else weren't we taught?" Then it's like, "Why didn't we learn this?" And that must be, you must get reactions like that in the class all the time. I mean, just the joy of learning, that must be like, wow.
Oh, absolutely. It takes me back to my undergraduate days at Cal and sitting in these classes for the first time and not even knowing that they even existed. And um, yeah, it definitely blows your mind when you hear it for the first time, and the representation, right, of our history, our narratives, our stories being told by us for us, from our narratives, our lived experiences is definitely not what we're conditioned to learn in K through 16 education. So I mean, school systems. Let me be clear, because there's a distinction between education and schooling practices and schooling systems. And so, yeah, it's definitely eye-opening for a lot of students, and for many, it shifts their path or adds to their path in terms of their learning and wanting to learn more on their own, even beyond what's in college schedules and classes.
Do you get a diverse group that comes into the classroom? I'm curious about that. You get uh,
Y- Yeah, I mean, definitely, at least in community colleges, they're very reflective of the community in which the campuses are located. So, our campus is definitely very diverse in terms of the students that go in and take the classes, and they're very reflective of our community as well in terms of our enrollment and our service area. And so you get all of that in the classes.
Want to say something, man? Okay. Let me tell you something. I didn't know. Years ago, I read this book called "They Came Before Columbus," right? And it was about basically saying that Columbus ain't the first one to get here, right? And the book is about by a guy named Ivan Van Sertima. And one of the things I learned, and I can't remember the town, but was the presence of Olmec stones down in Mexico. And my brother actually went down there because my brother's that's the historian in the family. I mean, he got the family tree going back as far as you can get. We ain't quite got to Africa, but we're trying to get there yet. But I remember him seeing, you know, reading about it, him going out and seeing the stones firsthand.
Mm.
And that's just something, those are things you don't know that aren't brought to life. Uh, that you have to. I mean, that's why it's so wonderful to have a professor like you, because I didn't have a professor like you when I was in school. I went to the bookstore and read and read and read and read, and Ann knows, when my colleagues and I started the BSU at the school, first thing we wanted was teachers, because we paying all this money, and I'm a USF, a private school, right? And I'm paying tuition, and I ain't got nobody to teach me about me. So
Mm.
God bless you for doing that. I mean, it must be wonderful those young people to see and hear it and to have Professor Gonzalez.
Yeah, I do have to also add to that I don't just work at the college, right? I live in the community. My children went to that school, so I'm a parent of CCC students. I'm a parent of Richmond scholars, right? But they were Richmond Scholar recipients. I'm a parent of transfer students. I'm a community member, and so that definitely adds another piece. Like, I'm at the Target with my chongo hair, don't care on the weekends, and that matters, especially as more and more we get a lot of teachers for America that come into our communities in the K through 8 level, and a lot of times that the faculty and the administration specifically don't reflect or are representative of the students that enroll in the institution. So to have that representation, beyond the content knowledge, but someone that lives here in this community, right? That's going to church here, that I'm at the park, I'm at the marina, walking our dogs. Like just today, we were at the Cinco de Mayo festival down 23rd, and I'm running into current, former students. I think that also is important. And I tell my students, regardless of what discipline or field you go into, right, you never forget where you come from, and you use that knowledge to make it better for the next generations. And those seeds have been planted, and they will, sprout, and that sprouting is to better the very community that we come from. And so that's important too, I feel, in terms of faculty, but definitely within ethnic studies faculty.
So you got something? I see you getting ready with that question. You got something you want to ask?
Oh, I was gonna put something in the chat. Hey, Professor, nice to see you. You know, I'm curious. We got this whole 250th anniversary thing coming up. And what is in this summer? When is it? I can't remember.
July
July
4th.
Yeah, I guess it's the 4th of July or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't usually celebrate that day, so I didn't really think of it. But I wonder how, you see it. I'm just curious the lens that you bring to 250 years of the United States. because we know what we're going to get from the president, and we kind of know the official version that's going to go out. To me, it seems like such a great opportunity to hear, um, you know, from voices that aren't those official voices, and hear our versions of the 250 years, because they're going to be really different. I'm just curious how you see that.
I mean, I see we're celebrating 250 years of survival. We are
Mhm.
survivors of genocide. We are survivors of attempted elimination, and we're still here. And so for me, that's the message: is we are still here, and staying grounded and rooted within indigenous ways, and I those indigenous identities are important because we have a lot of not all skin folk is kinfolk, and so we can't base it off of just what someone looks like. That framework of understanding what it means to say we are still here, right? Not Latin, not Latinx, and all of these things that erase our heritage and our African and indigenous roots, right? But that we are rooted to these lands. Our grandmothers rooted us to these lands prior to socialized borders. And so for me, anything coming out of the government are really extensions of settler colonialism, and their intention is to continue oppression of original peoples, and that includes relatives from all across the lands, right? Because we weren't the only ones we made that were indigenous to these lands, and that were also brought over to these lands. Um, Also toward many of our relatives from their own motherlands, right? And so though that's for me the message is we are still here, and to shift it from, oh, I'm first generation, to no, I'm three, fourth generation survivor of. It changes the framework in terms of how we see our
Mhm.
place in this moment of time.
Thank you.
Shout outs to
You,
the
you know
ancestors.
I love y'all. Y'all, do I love look, fights of power. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, look, come on now. It's funny. Professor, you said we still here. I've already compiled my list. And my list is so long. If they ask me, well, what did you survive? Oh, baby, I got it. I got like 12 things, right? They'd be like, oh, yeah, and then I say, "And still I rise,"
Ooh.
So, yes, we all look, I'm trying to keep the politics out of this, so, yeah, which is impossible, but we're gonna do this. I love this question, so when you've asked this, I think this is and all of you can answer this. Uh, what do you wish people understood about your culture, about the culture, your culture? And what part of your culture do you want to pass on? Because a lot of time people come and you don't have nothing to offer. No, that's BS. That's total BS. What you want to try, Erica? And
Yes, thank you. I was recently during spring break, I have two daughters, so we took the opportunity to go visit my sister-in-law who's currently residing in Mexico City, and I had the opportunity to visit the museum, the National Museum of Anthropology, which is
Mm,
the largest museum of anthropology in Mexico, period. And it was so awe-inspiring. Like when you talk about the Olmec civilization, when I walked into the room where there was this big monumental stone of the Olmec head, it was something so impressive. And it just made me feel so proud, to see all of our history and put on so beautifully under one roof. You
yes.
see monumental massive stones, reconstructions of sites that were connected to cultures like the Mexica, the Maya, the Olmec, like I mentioned, Teotihuacan, Zapotec, and many more. And it was just like, wow, I feel so proud. And I was able to bring along one of my little ones. The other one was sick at home because she wasn't feeling well. And she kept pulling me, Mommy, 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 when are we leaving? Because they get bored. But basically, I managed to stay for 2 hours. And had I been able to, I would have stayed for two more because there's just so much to see about our culture, so much to take in. And it fills me with a sense of pride, you know, to just see the history that, like you mentioned earlier, it's not in the textbooks,
No.
not always, you know, and it's not always accurate. And it was just so beautiful.
Oh,
Mhm.
lost the professor again, but she'll be back. You want to add anything?
Yeah, I remember reading this book called Open Veins of Latin America. This book called Open Veins of Latin America. And back in the day, if somebody was found with this book, they would be like killed. It was like knowledge that they didn't want anybody to have. And when I read this book, it just like broke down so much of the practices and the mistreatment of our people, and just opened my mind to so much that I didn't know existed. And what I would like people to pass down is like keeping or making the mundane sacred again. So like growing your own food, learning different recipes. You know, like how corn is genetically modified and it's food starch, and it's like it's there's like thousands of different seeds and different kinds of corn, and like how can we keep these seeds alive and the recipes alive and growing your own food alive and food justice. Like I really feel like food justice is such an important part of our history, and so that's something that I feel really strong about.
I'm thinking of something that I found out, and Professor can hear this, that I found out that I didn't know about until actually I think I saw this in a movie.
Mm.
And it's a part of American history, but it's a part of American history they don't like, bring it up. And it was the Zoot Suit riots
Yep.
of the 19, maybe, I don't know, 50s, I don't know when it was. But man, you talking about, and I knew
1940s.
this happened to black folks. I knew this happened to black folks
Yeah.
because I mean they burning towns down, right? Uh, but I remember seeing that, and I was like, damn, you know what I saw? I saw it in American Me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw the movie. That's the first time I knew nothing about that, right?
Mm.
And I was like, damn, man, that was like y'all just trying to get everybody, I mean, it was crazy. It was just
If you love that, you would love Vanessa Sanchez's La Mezcla. And I painted a mural of her on the Brava Theater. And basically, she's taking the history of the women behind the Zoot Suit riots and fusing it with tap dancing and son jorocho, which is like the traditional um, kicking your feet on the ground, and like, and she's telling all these stories about how women were such a big part of the revolution and the Zoot Suit riots, and
Mm.
through theater and dance and like touring all over the country. And so if you love that, you gotta check out La Mezcla and
Mm.
Vanessa Sanchez's work. It's like
Mm.
it's truly revolutionary.
That's America. Oh, I just, yes. Okay. All right. Where do I want to? I want the professor back because I wanted to hear. I wanted her to hear that. Yeah.
About dance because because then I don't know, I have my friend Ricardo, right? He teaches salsa dancing, right? Salsa by Ricardo. But it's like, like dance is there's so many variations. And then when you go to like, because I would film like and I always say quinces, but I should say quinceañeras, right? I'm gonna practice my R's as well, Dr. Marshall. But it's just like these different traditions and then the dances. And so like bachata and then merengue and then just things like that. Like, you like that, Erica? I'm practicing here. But so you have your dances, all the different dances, and then I think about the food. Oh, and then you'd be so proud because right now we planted all these little corns and I got one sprouting and Evelyn is watching it. We're at like 2 inches right now. So we got the corn going for you. Um, but then I think about music because I always loved freestyle, right? That was mine. I grew up, I loved it. And then that was like a very like San Jose kind of thing. But then you got the lowriders, right? You got the cars, and that's what I saw today, right? Like, and because I was in Pittsburgh at the marina, and all the lowriders are out, and then they had their flags, huge flags posted on the sides of the car, just representing like that. So there's just all these different elements, and that's what I see here in America. But what I saw too with Erica, because she posted her pictures when she visited Mexico, and she just had all this love and just showed me through her Instagram like the beauty of her trip and exposing her children to her culture, these cultures, the culture that we're all a part of. And I really love that. There it was nature, it was the museum, it was the food, and I just really loved that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really grateful I was able to have that opportunity and to reflect about how beautiful and warm the people of Mexico are. Like, you want to talk about a misconception and, the way that the Latino community is being targeted right now. If people truly knew, like, and understood, you get out of your bubble and you travel and you see things for what they truly are. And Mexico City is just a melting pot. Um, of different, not just, there's a lot of people travel there for, work, leisure, adventure. So you meet people from all over the world. And I just think to myself, gosh, if everyone else who is judging Latinos for, other things that it's not accurate. Like, we are warm, loving, welcoming people. And I would say that that's something that I wish that people understood more.
Yeah, but it's Erica and DJ Agana. That's what America does. America demonizes folks.
Mhm.
Because America, unfortunately, this is me, and y'all know how I feel. It's not about all men are created equal. It's about power, domination, control. And they got some folks, right? And if this is a country of immigrants, I mean, that's what right. Give us your, that's what it said at the beginning, right? Right?
Right, you're
We don't,
poor.
that there's so much BS about this place. It just gets me. But I want to say this, and I hope I get the professor back saying it. I have never liked the wedge that they've tried to draw between the black community and the Latin. And I'd be like, what? I mean, we, we're all afraid. We're all, we're in the caste system, which I love the book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson that describes that. We ain't close to that top order, right? And so, that just never made any sense to me at all. And I, obviously you must not hang with him because you hang with him, you didn't even think like that, right? It's just. And I remember before the election, we would get these calls. They's taking that. What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? And but I know that's intentional. That's intentional. Uh, and so, I just can't be around folks. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, right? Uh, so, uh, I don't know if you've experienced that. I mean, I don't know if I mean, it's sending all them fools to me so I can say, dude, what you talking about? You're tripping. Um, so I just have to say that because that is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know, have you experienced any of that in your work?
I mean, we're all a part of the Americas and
Number one, we're all part of the human race,
that
right?
part.
Right, and
Mhm.
we're all part of the American people, right?
Mm.
But that's the fulfillment of America. Give us your that's what our nation of immigrants of people coming here. Only people who ain't here was the native folks, right? And now they were trying to get rid of them. I mean, the ICE is coming after native people. What are you talking about? They was here. Wait. So it's yes.
Yeah.
All of that is just ridiculous. So
Yeah, speaking about dance, we recently had a teacher come from Brazil. His name was Jose, and he taught us all these Orisha dances.
Wow.
And, it's very much like animism where the earth is alive and you're like doing this dance move, but you're really like harvesting and hunting. And he was talking about at the end of the workshop that Brazil was one of the last countries to abolish slavery, and so like there's still very much that system there in place, and like a lot
a
of
lot of
like
colorism there.
yeah.
And in Cuba and yeah, and a lot of Dominican Republic. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it just blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
he was like, the resources for Black folks are not getting to where they need to go, and it's like really segregated and divided still. And I was just like, whoa. But then I also know that like there's a my friend just got back, and there's a whole city of African slaves that like escaped slavery in Brazil and like kept the same language and tradition alive and live exactly how they lived in Africa but in Brazil.
Wow.
And like it's just the diaspora is so interesting, and like the struggles are so similar, and yet yeah, like people think like Black folks and indigenous and Latino folks are like so different, but it's like the struggles are very, very connected.
Or like they go take something from you. No, somebody's taking from you, but it ain't them. It ain't you. Somebody is taking something from you. But yeah.
I loved how Erica shared how you were saying you were born in San Francisco, but inside your apartment it was El Salvador, and then outside it was the Mission. And then I think about, because I know Erica, but you know how you also give that to your children, and then and then you also have like the Peruvian side, and so and so that's my family, right? And just like I got to learn about the Peruvian history and how they just really love and share all that they know. So Eric, I just if you could share a little bit about that too.
Absolutely. My husband is Peruvian, so our daughters are half Salvadorian, half Peruvian. And one thing that is really important for me to be able to pass on to them is language, because being in school, it's right now, it's English, it's primarily English. And sadly, we get home and we revert to English. So it's like English at school, English at home. But I really want to emphasize the important of like how important, obviously, language is tied to culture. I don't want my daughters to lose that. My mom immigrated to this country from El Salvador, and with a lick of English, not knowing anything, and she learned eventually. And I love that she spoke only Spanish to me, because I'm fully bilingual now. And the way that I serve my community now is I'm an interpreter. I'm a medical interpreter at my community hospital. And I love being able to bridge the gap that way, between patient and provider. There's a high need for interpreters in like large communities where there's a lot of Latinos. So I'm glad and I'm thankful that I'm able to serve my community, to be able to make a living out of that. And yeah, and so I want to pass that on to my daughters. My husband speaks Spanish, and so yeah, it's a beautiful thing to meld our cultures together, Salvadorian and Peruvian. Um, Delicious food all around. I'm so lucky, like, that I get to taste all the yummy Peruvian cuisine. And yeah.
I'm jealous.
Ceviche and chimichurri is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, because I can only speak one language.
Yeah.
Why would somebody not want to speak two languages? Americans is the only people in the world pretty much who can only speak. You go to other places, look, they speak their language and they speak English. They speak that. So why would people be upset that you can speak more than one language? That is,
Yeah.
but that's America, America, America.
And you look at the streets here, and they're basically Spanish words, and we ignore that fact, and it just really blows me away. Like, yes,
But I mean, that's
yeah.
correct, Ann. But I'm just saying, speaking more than one language is supposed to be. It's a great thing.
It's
You if
yes,
you find somebody who speaks, and there are people who speak 4 or 5 different languages, you applaud them.
yes,
And now they telling you don't do that. See, but this place got an identity problem. And that's just
yeah.
me. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. Anything else you want to add? This has been marvelous. I think we lost the professor.
Yeah.
And she
But
had so much.
she shared so much,
Yeah,
and
she
that was
did.
beautiful.
She did.
So you're
Yeah,
gonna have to
internet
come
problem.
back,
Yeah.
Professor Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anything
Yes.
else you want to get in that you want folks to know about culture, about history, about your own experiences? go right ahead before I call in the one and only Lady E to wrap us up. Either you go ahead.
Um, well, just on language, I remember my grandma never learned how to read or write, so I was always navigating the world for her,
Mm.
and but she had all these words that weren't in Spanish that were like indigenous words, but then I would ask her about her indigenous background and she'd be like, "Oh, that's the past.
Aw.
I'm now like a part of society, you know?" So it's like there was all this knowledge that I wanted to know about that I never got to receive because she was like, "Oh yeah, well, I speak Spanish now, so that's what it is." But then
Pass all that history on. Grands and great grands, pass that history on.
Yes.
It is invaluable to the spirit, to the soul.
for real.
So,
And then my kids, they go to a bilingual English Spanish school, and a lot of kids come from Guatemala that don't speak English or Spanish. They speak mom. So then my
Oh,
kids are helping them like navigate school and like learning some mom and like teaching them English and Spanish at the same time. So it's like not only are they bilingual, but they're like helping other kids also
mhm.
become trilingual.
Wow.
So it's just interesting the way we pass down knowledge and language and how some things don't translate. Like I love finding out things that don't translate, you know?
oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about language. Not everything has the meaning. You know, I love that.
Just like there's so many ways to say I love you in Spanish that doesn't exist in English. Like we just say love. It's like, what kind of love though? There's so many ways to say love. Like, how do you love me?
Aw.
I love the Spanish language. It's so passionate. Like you could say something in English, but in Spanish it just sounds so much more, like te amo, so romantic. Such a beautiful language. It's a source of pride,
French,
definitely.
French is that way. French. Everybody's in love. I mean,
Mhm.
love language. You know, everybody. They can say hello and you be in love. You love me. All right, this has been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Glad we got the opportunity to have both of you on and to celebrate uh, Latin culture. Wish we could have got some calls, but you two and the professor way more than made up for it. And just finding out about your experiences
Yeah.
has just been marvelous. Um, Lady E, you want to take us out with your always consider this comments?
I've just been listening and thinking and remembering, and I know we still have a few minutes. Some of the things that have just kind of rested on me is relationships and the blending, the combining, the uniting of the cultures. Because there's so much that we share, yet we don't share. There's so much that we carry that's familiar, yet there is the opposition and the thing that what can happen that could cause unnecessary dissension rather than what can happen that could create more clarity, more openness, more. And so I really value and appreciate your presence and your sharing, your journey, your experiences. And I don't know, I think that for me, just knowing and hearing and feeling what can we do, what can we know that can help unite us? Because this system that we're in today is not about unity at all. And for us as a people, as a people, not being allowed or recognized or celebrated for who we are and what we do, and what can happen so that that's not the experience that our children are left with, and that we can broaden. I that's what just that's just on my heart. I remember one of my colleagues said something. We were doing an end of the school year celebration, and she Spanish. Her name is Dia. I'm gonna put her name out there. Encarnacion. I love that last name. Encarnacion. And she created a whole dance, a presentation where the origin, Africa, was a part of the Latin experience. And she said, you can't tell a story about us without including Africa. And that was the first time I heard that. I was a school counselor. She said, no, we are we. And she just kind of tore down the black kids fighting the Latin kids. And she just tore it down. We are all that. We cannot be without you. We've got to bring that together. So that's just kind of one of the things that I'm always interested in hearing and feeling and seeing. And with the messages on the wall, the experiences, what more can we do so that we don't support a system that is determined to destroy, disregard, and overlook that we are united, whether we like it or not, and how we can value that. I know that's probably a whole nother topic for a whole nother Sunday, but that's, to me, is really what we need to address and focus on and remember.
I got to tell you guys this comment that I heard years ago on a show. And I don't know how the topic came up. I don't know if it was Latinos taking black jobs or something, one of them crazy stuff. And this brother from East Oakland called in. He said, man, what y'all tripping about the Latinos for, man? We love the Latinos. We tickle it with the Latinos. I'll never forget him saying that. And that was his way of saying, are you crazy? Oh, man, no, we love, they're my brothers, man. Look, we had the food truck together. He was so cute, but it was genuine. Because he was like, y'all crazy, what are you talking about? And when he said tickle it, I had never heard anybody use that.
I never heard that either. So yeah.
We love, so no, that love is there. The shared everything is there. And just thank you. Thank you both for standing up. Because we gotta stand up. You don't stand up and say it.
Yes.
And this is banning book time. This is, suppressing voices time. And now, in the words of the block, we ain't going out like that. More murals, more voices, more truth.
Yes.
We're gonna stand on what we know to be right.
Yes.
Okay. So thank both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks Ann for Erica, and thanks Malcolm and you again.
Hey.
They're getting DJ. I didn't get to hear about the DJ, but you're gonna have to come DJ for it. Can you and Malcolm have like a DJ battle?
Yeah.
It's
It's
that would be
on.
on that little layer, yeah, because he could spin up, but he can probably I can he's my son. I can't say you're gonna be, but all right. Good night, everybody. Street Soldiers. We'll see you next week right here, same time, same place. Thank you so much. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
We all